American Muslims have enriched the United States. They have fought in our wars, they have served in our government, they have stood for civil rights, they have started businesses, they have taught at our universities, they've excelled in our sports arenas, they've won Nobel Prizes, built our tallest building, and lit the Olympic torch. And when the first Muslim American was recently elected to Congress, he took the oath to defend our Constitution using the same Holy Quran that one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, kept in his personal library.
We're back now with my guest, Dutch parliamentarian Geert Wilders. Well, it's interesting to me that you have to go around with bodyguards since you wrote a book in your country. Are you still under the same protection?
Yeah, for exactly this month, for 5 years now. It started in 2004 because of my publication and what I said in Parliament and about Islam and mosques and radicalism. And yes, I got threats from all over the world, from the Netherlands, but also from Al-Qaeda-linked organizations.
Geert, does your government provide this security detail?
Yes, they do. They do. It's not my choice. If I wanted to have more or less, it's not my decision. It's the Secret Service and the decision of the Dutch Home Secretary to provide when it comes to parliamentarians for protection.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I admire your government, that at least they're willing to protect you. It's more than I could say for the United States of America, which lets people twist in the winds who they don't agree with. You are not supported, strangely enough, by homosexual groups or women. They're the ones who have the most to lose by radical Islam. Why don't they support you?
Well, some of them do, actually. It's not that they don't support me. They do. Groups of them do support me, because you are right. If Islam would get its way, if there would be more Islamic influence in our societies, all the people that are non-Muslim, whether they are homosexual, whether they are women, whether they are apostates or renegades, or whether they are just intellectuals who are criticizing Islam, they will be the first to pay the price. It's especially the representatives of the Christian belief, however, where much of the Christians support my point of view, that those people, unfortunately, in our multicultural society are appeasing as well and are criticizing myself, indeed, leaders of the Jewish, leaders of the Christian community, but the real people, the common people in the street, support me. If there would be elections today, my party, and I'm referring to a poll from 2 days ago, would be the biggest party. If there would be elections, I could be the new Dutch prime minister. So there is a lot of support, but there is also a lot of resistance. I have to be honest about that.
Well, your society has always been a very tolerant society, and of course, I'm a student of the immune system, and we also understand how the retrovirus works. If you've studied HIV or any other retrovirus, they usually take advantage of a weakness in the immune system and then mimic the defense cells themselves and then take over the entire body politic, if you want to put this on a political level. That's what's going on in the West, which is that ultra-tolerance has enabled some of these radicals to enter the country under the guise of, let us say, asylum or please help me. They come in the next day you wake up, they're trying to take over your country and throw you out of your own country, which I don't understand how anybody with any intelligence can't see it going on, which leads me to the next question. Since you wrote your book in 2005, have there been changes in your favor, meaning has Holland awakened in any way to the threat, or has Holland become weaker?
Well, let me first say that I agree with the analysis that, at least in Holland and most part of the Western world, we were tolerant also to the intolerant. And what I really hope that we start being intolerant to the people who are intolerant to our societies and to us. And because of this political correctness, we are not. Have things changed? Well, like I said, I represent now, at least virtually in the polls, the biggest party of the Netherlands. So things have changed, yes. But when you look at the policy of the Dutch government or the UK government or the German government or the French government, you see very little change. People talk about it more, but when it comes to policy, there is still so much politically correctness, also by the liberal and leftist press in Europe, that it sometimes sickens me a lot. But once again, the people are not fooled. The difference between the Vox Populi and the political elite is still huge. So we need more changes. We need not only to talk, but to act. And I think that by the next elections in Holland, we could really make a difference there.
Now, you state that a ruling elite exists among parliamentarians who only care about their own personal careers and disregard the will of the people. That's exactly what's going on in America. You have a two-party system that absolutely hates the people. And when the people stood up against the health care reform, which is socialized medicine here, Nancy Pelosi and others called them fascists, Nazis, etc., they were shocked to see the people care about their own future. Your party, who created your party and when was it formed? When did this new party begin?
Yeah, well, I was, before I started my new party, I was a member of parliament for the Conservative Liberal Party, as we say.
Oh, you already were in the system.
I already was in the system, but I got fed up with the current elite and the way they treated me, and I was not allowed and sanctioned to talk about, Islam and Islamization and the defending of our own values. So I left my former party after a lot of disagreement, and in 2004, I started my new political party, the Party for Freedom. It was in September 2004, and we took part 2 years later for the first time in the elections, and we got quite a result for a new political party. And then, because the old elite, the old political parties only shouted at us and tried to demonize us in any possible way, as they by the way still do, we only became more popular. And the subject about the values and about Islamization is something. I mean, I hope that a lot of Americans come and see Europe and see that whether you go to Malmö or Copenhagen or Berlin or Amsterdam or Brussels or Paris, that our society is changing, that there is a parallel society where we have Sharia courts, where we have the most terrible thing, honor killings, where we have the most terrible things happening, and that the political leaders looking in the other direction. And we really need to save our continent. And my message, I'm in the United States now, is that please, United States of America, my dear friends here, don't think it won't happen to you, because it is happening to you, and you will also pay the price if you look in the other direction and just ignore the facts that are on the ground today.
Your party, could American citizens make contributions, financial contributions to your party if they wanted to?
Well, they could, yes, and that would be very helpful for also my defense, because we were talking about the United Kingdom, and I luckily won that one, but in January my criminal prosecution starts in the Netherlands, also because of my movie Fitna.
Criminal prosecution? A member of parliament for speaking his mind in Holland?
Yes, and this is a very sad thing, because the public prosecutor in Holland decided not to prosecute me. Then some people went to a court of appeal in Amsterdam, and the higher court of appeal ordered my prosecution. I could go for 20 months to jail.
Oh my God! Well, we've got to help you, Geert. We're going to make contributions to your legal fund. I know you didn't come on the program today to ask for money, but I know that money is the mother of politics, and especially the mother of law in the world today. We know that the opposition, the Sharia folks, are backed with unlimited funds, no doubt from Saudi Arabia and God knows where else. Is there an email address or a fund that's set up? If not, how would they make a contribution?
There is my Dutch website is called www.pvv.nl, P from Peter, the V for Victory, and the V for Victory.nl, and there you also find a link to the English website, and there people can see how they could help. It's not only that I'm being prosecuted for my thoughts in the Netherlands, but also the country of Jordan is threatening to ask for my extradition.
Which country?
Jordan. The Jordan prosecutor.
Oh, Jordan, a wonderful country of freedom, yes. The wonderful country of freedom, so long as you're a member of the ruling class. Now, I want to read your website again. I want the millions of people who are listening to this show to make a contribution, whether it's $5 or $1,000. It's
www.pvv.nl.
pvv.nl. It's going to go up on my website as well. Many, many people have come to my aid and contributed to my legal fund, and I know that they're looking for good causes that have meaning rather than the Republicans or the Democrats. And I would encourage everyone listening to this show to contribute to a Geert Wilders Defense Fund, and we're going to talk more about that later on the Savage Nation.